Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees, that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine, irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look through our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 270th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice here on Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name's Rick Crammond, and I'll be host today, along with Mark and Elias as co-hosts. Thank you, guys. And I think we're ready to start today's workshop with members of the Universal Council who will be presenting the workshop. And I believe they're ready to go. Let me just get the PDF ready. And here we are.
Thank you, my dear Rick. Thank you so much. Welcome, 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 my dear beautiful souls, to the beautiful, beautiful energy in the beauty and totality of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute, in the beautiful, beautiful energy and beauty and totality of all knowledge seekers, as we are, as universal souls we are. Welcome, and the beautiful energy of all that is love. So, and the beautiful energy of one planet, one nation, one race, for justice and world peace. So experience the joy of peace. Here I want to say some few words, my dear beautiful souls, that there was a song by a singer. He's there, I am beautiful. That was the theme of the song. And yes, the beauty, I am beautiful. But when we see this beauty in all souls that exist, then it becomes totality. And then we see the joy forever. We experience the joy forever. As it has got, I have been through these positions that when I was kind of growing up and all that is young, and I always felt this sadness when I go outside and see hunger and pain. I felt the pain, and I was so, when I come home, I became weak, like a weak person, sick person. And now when I stepped in the peaceful arena of Keshe Foundation, I understood with the knowledge universal that this is, I haven't understood the ability of me. So, and if I understood the ability of me, that is the beauty. And when I share, I give, to be a giver, I just taken what I have shown. I doesn't become a giver. I have this ability to give. Then I understood that I have to give unconditional love. What is the need of the situation? And then I started seeing, when I experienced this, that I haven't seen the beauty. Why not? I haven't seen the beauty of their smile, the beauty of their, even so much is going on. And then I understood that the totality comes when I see the beauty. And then things started to change. When I go outside, I never feel that again, because I know something is transform, and always be transforming forever in this unconditional arena of love. So here, these are experiences that we have. All of us have their own way to understand this ability. So I'll say that understand the ability of love, to give love, and then many of the things of this world matter will sort out anyway. And then as we are experiencing peacefulness, even talking, for me, I was in such a chaos that even talking smoothly to somebody was so difficult for me. I thought everything is so violent, but then I understood. And even when we are communicating with the leaders, I was so aggressive. I was walking in the hall to and fro. And then I calmed down and understood that I have to talk to the beauty, to the soul. And I understood and communicated and elevated. So thank you, my dear beautiful souls. Salam, namaste, salute. We can go to the next slide, Margaret.
So this is the first wish of the Universal Council.
Oh, yes, yes.
We, the Universal Council, in humbleness, thank all the souls for supporting humanity in this transition that we are going through. The reason why we wrote this is because the Universal Council members who come together to make the contact for the Universal Council soul every day at 9 o'clock Central European time, we feel the connection to you all. And this energy is like a source that is growing, becomes stronger and stronger. And later on, I will talk about future. And we need this strong connection on the soul level to the knowledge seekers, to the council members, also to all the systems we have, the magras, the cups, the stickers, to the systems in Linz, and also to our universal family. Because only in the connection of the total lies the solution for peace on earth. And that's why we would like to say thank you to you all who participate in this.
We are present. Thank you. We are present.
Thank you, Shweta.
On to the next slide, my dear Rick. Here I welcome my dear Mark, if you're here. I mean, you're here to read the wish.
Thank you, Shweta. We,
Oh.
I'm privileged to read the wish and blessed to be part of this beautiful movement for peace on this planet. We, the Universal Council, give from our soul to balance the planet Earth for the benefit of all beings. And we do have a project called the Creating the Peace Dome, and it's something for the physicality to do, to sort of give energies to the soul of this planet to elevate it to a peaceful, permanent condition, as we are all aware. And anyone can make a Gans and take the water above the Gans and spread it across the planet. I think it's a way of connecting wellness centers, and perhaps the knowledge seekers are wellness centers themselves, except we are still in the denial phase of it, but I know there's more to go. But yes, the soul of this planet had a wrong streak, or has a wrong streak in it, and it's passed it on to the entities that it's created. And so Mr. Keshe is in this process of elevating the soul of this planet and all its inhabitants here and across the universe into a permanent, peaceful condition. Our wish is our command. Thank you.
We are present, my dear. Thank you so much. Yes, the balance, as we say in this beauty and totality. Not perfection, but balance. Not symmetry, but balance. That is the beauty of it, you know. We can create. This is so simple sometimes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now we can go to the next slide. Yes, here is the 1 minute of silence for the elevation of all souls in existence And this is the beauty we see in each other. So the moment of silence, the beauty and totality, and it starts from now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, so much, beautiful souls, for being here, being with the responsibility and the virtue of the heart for all that is in existence. And this is the need of this moment. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Now we can go to the next slide. Salam, namaste, salute. Here's the clip from the Knowledge Seeker Workshop 481, and beautiful clip, of course. So we can start it, my dear Rick.
Yes, just let me get it set up a little better here.
Okay.
Just bear
Okay.
with me a minute. Okay, I think I'm ready to begin here. Let me share properly. Okay, I believe that's right, and let's go for it. This is an excerpt from the 481st Knowledge Seekers Workshop, starting at about 11 minutes.
What the intro comes from. We call it the creator. In the dimension of physicality, we connect the connection of man in the dimension of physicality of the man with carbon 12. We go to cosmic rays and we connect it through the dimension of what we call carbon 14, connection of the direction of what we call crystal structure, clear transfer of energy on the back of hydrogen. As in many teachings we have explained, if we call it the creator has to be part of the structure which he is created out of. And then it becomes a bigger dimension. Dimension the man has not understood is like our universe is a cell in the kidney of a man. It's a whole of itself, operates on its own, has billions of sections and whatever. It has a universe and unicos, but at the end is a part of an organ, part of a body of a man. And that man from outside is observed by the others. They don't see that cell of the kidney, but collection of the cells makes the man. And if man in the dimension of the physicality transmutes this dimension of emotion through carbon 12 in a vacuum body of the man, then the universe and unicos transmute itself through the dimension of carbon 14, again the source of essence of the creation, hydrogen, common denominator. What does the creator and how does the creator communicate in his own environment? And what beauty from that dimension comes that becomes a food, that becomes the energy of the unicos, that becomes the energy of the universe. And part of that universe that we live in. We eat an apple, and the energy of that apple reaches every cell which needs the energies of that apple. The question becomes, what are we part of? And what we call the man who the organs are part of him, without him there is no liver and kidney. Which part of the process of the creation are we in that structure? It's a living thing. Universes move, galaxies move, the suns and the earth and the planetary systems move. What are they feeding? What is the ultimate goal of all these essence of interaction of the fields of the universe? The unicos and the universe that man has not come to understand. What we call the prophet of the past have indicated there are different levels. Now man with the knowledge has opened some of the levels. The soul of the man, the soul of the solar system, the soul of the galaxy, the soul of the universe, the soul of the creator. What is that soul of the creator part of, which is created out of the interaction of its field? The other point which goes back from macro to micro is how do ourselves within body of the man, within the kidney, within the heart of the man communicate with each other that allows them to find their positions, distance, and their composition. How does our body recognizes needs 3 layers of skin to protect from outside, balance between the two, and protect the inside that nothing goes outside? How does one skin on the tip of the finger and one skin on top of the arm connected to each other, that they know they're responsible for each other's work and they have to contain each other? How does the skin of the man communicate with the other organs to keep your heart and your kidney in the same position? Is carbon 12, is carbon 14 in a different strength part of it? Carbon 12 only works in a matter state. In the body of the man, there is no carbon 12. The fact of the fields of carbon 14 behaving like carbon 12 in the dimension of the absorption and the rest creates dynamism in the body of the man. Then it comes, what do we need? What do we have? What do we need to understand about the totality of the creation? Does the cell of the body of the man works on carbon-10? Where the totality of the body of the man works on the dimension of the carbon-14 in a vacuum condition, and an outside matter state is carbon-12. How do our scientists take a blood from the body of the man, and then when they test it, they give you that is magnesium, that is calcium, and everything else in a matter state outside the vacuum of body of the man? Where has the knowledge of the man has missed the information? And where does the body of the man has come to not to understand the difference between the dimensions of the vacuum, inertia, and everything else in respect to the time, place, and position? In the body of the man, if you take a kidney has its own inertia according to the position and the centralized system of itself. Even the lymph of the man has its own inertia that it manifests in that vacuum. What happens inside the body of the man in totality and majority has nothing to do with what happens outside. You walk in the sun, you walk in the heat, you walk in the cold, you walk in the rain. Your limbs don't change characteristics, still operate because they're separate. They operate under their own structure. They have their own inertia. And for man of the science to be able to become the physicians of the space, man has to understand this creation of inertia according to the time, place, and the space in the body of the man, in the galaxy, on Earth, or anywhere else. Otherwise, you will never, ever manifest yourself to be observed, to confirm your existence. The biggest problem for the physicians of today, even coming to cancer, is that the doctors, our physicians and scientists have not understood the creation, the manipulation, the inertia which creates that condition that the cell of the body of the man come together. We call it the cell of cancer. If you change the inertia in a condition and a position, there is no cancer. With the new technologies which are getting developed and getting expanded into the world of the science, very soon, man will know how to get rid of cancers, which is the biggest nightmare. Even the knowledge seekers who've been working on this have not understood. And if we do, we become magicians. Do we need to do magic? Then the people understand the science is different. In the coming time, the scientists, those who investigate the depth of the knowledge of the created and the creation, have to observe, have to understand the interaction of the fields, which changes the universal fields to manifestation of the position and time in respect to the fields of the creation and in respect to the inertia conformation of existence. Which means what inertia do you need to confirm the physicality does not matter if it is in the dimension of the plasma. Then the question sits for man on both ends. What inertia, what line of communication happens in the cell of the man, in the minute layers of the kidney of the man? What happens? What line of communication and interaction happens to the creator of the man?
How does he communicate with his environment? Well, how does he get the knowledge and the confirmation of existence? Then you understand on both of the scale from created to the creation is all the same. What we pray to prays to another. What we live through lives through another. Man, to be successful, to transmute from the point of his own creation to his creator, man has to understand the line of communication. And then the position and strength of the inertia of the existence. We call it gravity. We call it miniature gravity inertia. But how does change the position? What does the gravity of the Earth in the dimension of the plasma of the solar system has led to the creation of the Earth? Can we replicate this gravity and all its facets and failures to create another dimension? The same. Or does this position of the creation of the Earth with its inertia, which has led to the emotion of the man's creation of himself, can lead to the misconduct of the man, the dimension of the soul in another part of the universe? Isn't this why we are here to correct it, as we had enough of the misconduct of the souls which left the dimension of creation from this planet, as their own creation was based on the wrong strength fields of what we call inertia of the creation. Need of the man to kill, need of the man to destroy, need of the man because his boss did not supply. If your husband doesn't bring enough food home, what do? You go to the neighbor, you go shopping, you go and get something to survive. So is the behavior of the man on this planet. The planet does not supply enough to confirm, to feed the local inertia of the need of the body of the man. So man kills. Like the wife going shopping, man has everything from his environment, 80%, man goes shopping. Shopping another soul, shopping another seed, shopping another plant. But this time, the shopping is eating, slaughtering, and the rest. When you do not have enough, you get it from somewhere, even by stealing. So man has become a thief of other lives, and because he does it and everybody else does it, has become a norm. We all do it because don't eat for 24 hours, don't eat for a few days, you die. So we all become thieves and we justify our theft that we want to survive because the inertial planetary system, the inertial body of the man system has not managed to create the condition to absorb what it needs from free fields of the universe. We are all murderers. In a way, we close our eyes because everybody else does it. We call it meat eaters, we call it vegetarians, we call it every other name, except accepting the truth that we kill to survive. And it's normal because we can justify it. What happened if the man changes the dimension of that 20%, then the wife does not need to go shopping. Man does not need to kill. Then it comes to another point, which in the long distance, in the education of the man will come clear. Does the creator does the same in the dimension of his own dominion and his own inertia to feed the structure of the universe and the unicosmos which is within him. then it comes to understand when the man becomes a child of the universe in a very short time, do we understand this, that we do not need to create a dimension of inertial manifestation of physicality in the minions and the places where it cannot create the totality of the need of the man. Then would this create a new dimension of existence for man? We went from carbon 10 to carbon 12 to carbon 14. Does our creator lives in the dimension of carbon 16? For his communication and extraction of the fields of his own universe? Does the unicus work on the 16 and the creator on 18? Or is it just packs of energies we have put numbers to? The bigger you are, the more you eat. A fish is happy with a little olives, and a bear with a full salad. This is how we have to understand. This is how we have to go to the dimension of what we call the knowledge of the creation. We are on the verge of becoming the travelers of the space. In the next few years, man will colonize space in a way that he could never dream. As we start the colonization, in the next 2 to 5 years, with the support of the nations, what would be the next? When we build these space cities, do we test the reality of the life in the space, or what man likes to see to be in the space? Do we become realistic? Would the science of space becomes the part of the life and living of the man? And then the question for many of you, now that you have learned about the dimension of the soul, that you have learned you can travel without the dimension of physicality, is how do I teach the soul of physicality within me to become obedient to the law of the creation and accept that it can live with different dominion of the inertia that does not need to lead to manifestation. Go back and look at something many of you do on a daily basis. You call it electricity. We call it production of energy. What happens when the knowledge of a man extends to the point that he understands he doesn't need the rotating magnet and the iron for him or a copper for him to create electricity or energy? We don't see rotating magnets in the dimension of matter state, and we see so many lightning and thunder. When will man learn this knowledge? And then if you can do this, what does it absorb? What does it bring? Where mankind has missed the knowledge of the creation. Does our Creator subjected to the creation by itself? Or has the man become subjective and objective?
Thank you, my dear Rick. Thank you so much. Beautiful clip. To understand how we create, how we are created, and where is the creator? So, anyone have something to say about? Thank you. Yes, of course.
Rick, could you please go back to the slide?
Oh.
Exactly. Because in a way, I don't know who made this slide. It was not me. But if we look at the man with his feet, Mr. Keshe is talking about his itchy feet. And then we see the creation with the creator, we see the earth and this same energy. And in a way, when I was looking before, I have an experience that is very similar to what we see here. When I was connected, since the first connection we did, the evening after the connection, I had this right feet somehow itching, or I don't know, it was like a little needle stitching in the feet. And the moment when I sent back my love, it stopped stitching. And now if I see this picture, it's like a connection. We know now on soul level, we are connected to everything. And also when I take a bath, I use a lot of Gans waters. I mix it and use it in the bath tube. It's the same. Yesterday I did it again and I felt it is the same in the right foot, upper side, right side, this energy stitching. And it is nothing that hurts. It is nothing that is bad or terrible. But in a way, I saw this picture and it reminded me on that, and I did want to share it with you. We are connected, and it's up to us to start to learn how we handle these connections. So thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear Jaco. Thank you so much. Any beautiful soul else want to say or share anything about this? Beautiful teaching, of course, I can say. The inertia to initiate. The carbon-14 is always there. And all we understood now that the way the interaction, the initiation is always about from the carbon-14, interaction with the carbon-14 in the manifestation, in the matter state, initiation. And the zinc is a part of that 14. The magnesium is the part, all the chemistry depends. And when we understand that, I mean, the carbon-14 is always there to, well, I will say the path of spirituality, I will say, goodness. And the manifestation becomes more, in need. But then when we start this denial of being material more, like this is a zinc, this is a magnesium, and this is like the cells of the kidney is different. They are looking different, but they work as same because they are functioning in cooperation with the whole body, whole organ. So this is the way carbon-14 works. When we join, when we understand that this is the work I have to do, and this is the work he or she have to do, and this is the work this plant and all this have to do, and we are always benefiting together out of it, and the body grows like that. So carbon-14 is the pathway. Come, and when we came and when we go, we didn't understand that. We say soul of man. So it is always there. It created the way all the chemistry we needed to manifest. When we manifest as a child, or when we are born here, the manifestation was so pure, like you can see the beautiful child and the beautiful way they grow. When they start this manifestation of separation, as the carbon-14 was always there to create this spirituality in a spiritual way, but then it goes into the material way, strong, intense, not intense type of material. So, and becomes weak, more and more weak, as we have experienced that. But when we understand that all the chemistry is part of this carbon-14, the manifestation, then the chemistry, well, I will say, when we were addicted to all this not needed chemistry, but from eons we have been in the evolutionary process. We has been like with all this energy overlapping with it. But this, when we understand this soul of man, the carbon-14, the coming and going, the beauty and totality, then we understand that the whole things comes back in this turning point, always, when we started. So here we can say about the 12 salt we have, but the 12 salt came from the ultimate beauty and totality. The salts are of all that is we need. So in the homeopathy, we see the salts properly, like all the salts, the combination, and then we leaned to the mainstream medicine when everything is in the hidden form that destroys many of the spirituality we need, the manifestation we need, and we disconnect with that, like that. Everything, like the soul, can be explained properly as the pathway of carbon-14 that was always in this universal unified field, as I understood, in a way. So thank you. Any other beautiful soul wants to join? Welcome.
Hi, it's Dan.
Oh,
I was just wondering, like the carbon-12, that's physicality, and then the carbon-14, that's our soul. Like, is that right, or am I thinking wrong?
soul of man.
Well, we're in between it, and the soul of man,
Yeah.
and then the soul of physicality.
Yes,
But the
physicality and soul of man.
Does physicality run like it's carbon-12, right?
Yes.
And there's also carbon-14, which is the soul, which is so like we're
A soul in between, as you said, Diane.
yes,
Beautiful. Yeah.
become one, like in this transformation or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Of
Become
course,
with
of course.
one with our soul,
Yeah.
and then like when we're invisible, like non-tangible, and then I'm just trying to understand. Is that
Intangible also sometimes, like manifestation.
yes?
Like, as you said, in the transition state, in the to and fro motion, coming and going, it is always there.
Okay, lots to figure out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, my dear. Thank you for sharing. Yes, the soul, the pathway in between the beauty and totality, and the beauty and totality too, if there is. Both manifest the beauty and totality as according to the conduct of the universal unified field, as of the creator. So thank you, my dear Diane. Thank you for sharing. Now, if we can go to the next slide. Thank you. Welcome, Jaco.
Thank you, Shweta. Future. The world through my eyes. Hello, dear souls. In, on, and beyond our wonderful planet Earth. Jaco, UC member, representative of the Dutch language. Today, I would like to share my feelings and emotions with you. Last night, I was listening to the 146th Knowledge Seeker workshop. It's recorded back in 2015. Mr. Keshe was explaining about the processes we are dealing with today. He didn't change what he is saying. In fact, it's exactly the same as he speaks about today. The difference is that after our experiences in the systems and in all the connections we had, it's what we learn from it and what we start to understand. Where do we come from? What are we here for? And how to change what we were doing wrong and what the solution there is. We learned from the nano, from the ganses, the fields. And now what are we up to do with all this? We understand that being part of the creation includes creating a part of it too. It's not just passive waiting for a Messiah to save us from here. It's us choosing the right way, going that way, and learn to become a soul living the right ethos. When we reach this point, the door will open up and our universal family will stand in front of us. Are we ready for that moment? Or will we be scared to death and try to run away? Sorry. Can we accept the soul that stands in front of us and says, hey buddy, I'm from planet Alnitok. Is that planet familiar to you? Do we recognize the beauty and the love of the Creator in that soul too? The work that Mr. Keshe does will bring the changes in a beautiful, but also in a huge way. We should be aware that the changes in feeding of 1.3 billion souls not only will have influence on their food consumption, it will have an impact on the balancing of their bodies through the source of physicality, and in that way to their bodies too. Don't think this will change for humans only. Our animals and plants will not be excluded. This time the change will be for totality of souls. And that's what makes these times so extraordinary special. We should understand why we have to focus on the field, the interaction, and manifestation after transition. No longer stay in the matter state, nano, GANs, and the rest of it. In the fields, our soul interacts directly, because all the hydrogen and carbon highways are connected. They are interconnected like a spider web. We are the one in the middle that receives the impulses and learns to act on those signals from now on. As soon as we understand that we can send those signals as well, we start to understand our way of creating our new future. Please keep your soul open to all those who join that same way. Connect together more and more, and through the anonymous soul of the Universal Council, the change to peace and harmony is manifesting. Thank we as one.
Thank we as one. Thank you, my dear Jacko. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shweta.
Oh, yes, of course, my dear. Are the doors open? Your heart are open. The future is here. Open the door. Do I have to knock? No. We don't have to knock each other. We know our heart are open and the future is here in front of us, within us. And so everybody, all souls are, receiving this future, the beauty and totality. And that is to be. And so it is. So I will, I welcome beautiful souls, if you want to share in this future, in this beauty and totality. Thank you. And welcome.
Well, maybe I can talk a little bit
about. Thank you. Welcome.
As Jacko was talking about the fields, Mr. Keshe these days are very emphasizing a lot about fields. Don't look at MAGRAPH, look at the fields. Don't look at GANs, look at the fields. What does this, how does this make us think in a somewhat different way? One of the things that was talked about at one point in his teaching, and this was like, before 200, somewhere in the 146, after 146, that Jacko was mentioning, is making GANs of GANs. And this is actually a very fascinating area, which I explored it a bit. It was not a popular topic as far as I remember. I don't know why. At that time, a lot of information was being delivered by Mr. Keshe about various reactor systems for powering a spaceflight system. And this was happening, and concurrently, there was this GANs of GANs field production was happening. Now, with GANs, you can create any field. In a sense, let's say, if you look at, let's say, CH3, there is a specific reason for mentioning CH3. CH3 it's a field value of 15. Now, if you take 3 times the amount of CH3 and subtract the field of the first CH3 from the 3 times the amount of CH3. So that was 3 times the amount of CH3, you get 30. So you're creating a field of 30 from something which is 15. There are many different ways of, in MAGRAPH, you can multiply fields one way. In a GANs box, you can subtract and add fields. And these are the backbone of how to manipulate fields. Our soul. Let's say our soul, one of the fields, that one of our soul is creating is 1030. The other one is creating 1060. This is an arbitrary number. When you subtract, you get 3. You get 30. So it's the same thing as 45 CH3, and you're subtracting a 15 CH3 from it, and you get 30.
Hello?
I think,
Somebody's mic is open.
yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
thank
So in both cases, we are getting 30, a field of 30. So, but we are starting from different field strength. Now, if we look at hydrogen, which is one field strength, and you can take, this is the backbone of creation. Hydrogen, which is essentially a neutron field, a combination of proton and electron, or neutron in another way. So if this is one strength, you can create something that's 31 and subtract 1 from 31 and you get 30. So I'm just doing this subtraction field. You can create something, you can take a 29 field and add 1 to it, and then it becomes 30. You can take a 3 field, multiply it 10 times, you get 30, which is where we come into a Magrath type system. But so understanding how to add, subtract, and multiply and divide, as we've been taught in grade 1, I remember somewhere there. But now we have to do it with fields. So if we add, subtract, multiply, we can create any fields. Do we understand the addition? Do we understand the subtraction? Do we understand the multiplication? Let's say we want a certain kind of food. We have a certain value for its field. Let's take this number 30. And we need many 30s. And then we have enough food. If we rename the 30 to be electricity, we can multiply it as many times as we want. So the basic idea is, with these instruments that we've been exposed to, or in tools, we can learn to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. We don't need money for this, do we? We have all the energy to create, multiply, divide among ourselves, and be self-sufficient. So we never are short of anything. The only thing that we have to apply ourselves is to do these things. Multiply the fields we can create in the interactions of various aspects of our souls. Interact, let's say, with this table that I see in front of me to create the field we need to, let's say, create our water. So it's just learning how to do these basic things. And then we need to, of course, learn how to connect them, or what we call the in-between field, the inertia or the emotion, so that we can bring things together, diverse fields together to form matter, objects, the energies of different kinds. But the basic tools remain the same. And what does Mr. Keshe last time in the last Knowledge Seekers workshop talked for some time about vortices. If we look at our maggrav, the device, it has many of them. And as we understand the vortices, we can, or vortex, plural of vortices is the plural of vortex. Then we can learn to multiply fields. And maggrav is extremely powerful at doing it. And we can make many things. So the basic ingredients are all there. And let's apply it. We are in the land of plenty and prosperity. Peace and prosperity, I think that's better. And we don't have to feel like we don't have enough. And as Jaco was mentioning, the future is here and now. Let's participate. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear Moshik. You explained it so beautifully that this way of symmetry we can create, and this doesn't need, well, in a way, in balance position to manifest what we need, to be what we needed, and the chemistry accordingly. Of course, and we understood that. That is so inspiring and so much. Thank you, my dear Moshik. Yes, of course. Embrace these moments. This is the future. I don't see that there is anything to knock. So in ancient times, you know, there are stories that there was no doors in the houses because there are no need of, where people are not afraid of anything, you know, there is no fear. So because they lived in peace, sharing each other, unconditional love, and the house is just a manifestation to be like that because there is no door. So we can say, don't take off the door. Thank you so much. Thank you. Any beautiful soul else want to add anything? Yeah. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome.
Hi, Sweta. It seems no one's is coming forward. It's Dean here. May I can speak about an experience today.
Welcome, my dear.
Thank you. So, Jaco, thank you for the beautiful slide and going into the future. I had an experience today where maybe it'd be going into the past. And I went on this walk today, and I went along a river, and I was walking along. And there were many situations on this particular journey today where it's been raining a lot here, and the path was very slippery. And so at one point I actually slipped over, and I had just washed my clean clothes, my jeans, and I slipped, and the knee that I've been using the knee gans with from the foundation, I actually slipped over, and this knee went into the mud. And I got mud all over my jeans, and I picked myself up and wander off down the path a little bit further, and kept going. And I ended up, funny enough, in a place that I've been to that I didn't realize before. The path led to somewhere that I suddenly recognized where I was. And so I hadn't, wandered around and gathered something that was present, that I knew that I could get there. There was some particular food substance that I could get from this particular place, this location. And then I decided to wander back, knowing that the actual this workshop was going to be taking place. I had to be back in time for this. So I then walked along this path, coming back along the this river. Rick, is it okay? I've actually got some. Can I share the screen? Can I actually show a picture? That's okay. I think that's okay.
Yeah, sure. You should be able to do that.
It's just some picture. It's just something I want to just show, just so people get an idea of what I'm speaking about. So can you see that now, guys? So this is the river that I was walking along today. And as I was walking back, as I said, my mind wandered. My mind was wandering back into, from being present, going into the past, and then coming present again, and then going into the future a little bit, and then becoming present again. And the more I wandered, I came to the end of the path. And I had this very distinct, I don't know why, this feeling of going back into the past of an old situation I had when I was a younger child. And my father built a house in a location, and I as a child used to go to the end of the garden, and I would be present there with this. Is a small stream, a very small stream, but there was a particular bird that used to come to this stream, and I don't know the name of it in here, and I don't know if this is the correct name, but it was something that I used to call it, and it was called a dipper. So this bird was it would be near the water, or around the water all the time, and it would have a round body, and its legs would dip slightly. So it would always dip itself, like it was dipping itself into the water, and it would do this quite regularly. And this bird, known to me, was called a dipper. So I was thinking this in this precise moment, and then literally as I was thinking this, so I'd gone into the past. Then within 1 second, I wasn't aware, I just looked up, and in the river in front of me was this exact bird on a rock, and it started dipping. So it was an instant manifestation of what I was thinking about, almost within 1 second. Now, many people could say the bird was there and it just happened to be good timing. However, my thoughts were very in that particular moment in the past, right in that precise moment. And literally, as I just opened my viewpoint up and took my head up, because I was walking down a slight path, as I took my head up and I looked, I saw this this bird, and it was exactly the same bird, a dipper. Now, if I can do a screen share, if I can do another one, I can show you. I took a quick picture of it, not a very good picture and out of focus, because I had to do it very quickly before the bird flew away. However, it was, for me, it was something that was, it's the manifestation that's happening very quickly now. Being in contact with all the Ganses. Jacko spoke about going into the future, and we can have an image in our thoughts and intentions, and we can project that into the future. We can also have thoughts and images within our thoughts and intentions that will then take us back into the past. And I don't know if you can see this bird now. So this was the dipper that was there within 1 second, and it happened to be on a rock, on another rock, literally just straight in front of me. And I remember thinking to myself in that exact moment, thank you, universe. Thank you for the beauty of that what we can create when we reach a certain thought, a conscious thought, we are creating continuously. And whether we do it in the matter state or we create in a plasmatic condition. So for me, this would be the conscious thought would have been the carbon-14, would have been the soul aspect, and then talking to the soul through the soul of physicality. And then within a very short period of time, we've got the carbon-12 appearing directly before me through this thought that I had. And it just seemed I had to show this today. It was literally a walk I went on and had this experience. One of many. I remember being in specific places along the path where when I became very peaceful and still and contemplating the moment, the exact moment that I was very, very focused on the moment, I felt a warm glow and I felt a difference. But the moment I took my thought away into another position, it totally changed. So the manifestation of the past and the future really is within us. It's the soul aspect, and the soul is constantly speaking with us through the universe. And this is then manifested and shown itself in consciously, fairly quickly, when we become very aware of it. And this isn't just happening in nature. This will happen for many people in lots of different locations. So this is where the thinking, speaking, and acting good, and in the moment, it shows how quickly we can start to create. So if we can do this with a conscious thought into the future, when the universal family are present with us, then we can allow them to be, me personally, I look forward to seeing the universal family, and I have no fear whatsoever. I welcome it with open arms, because I know that unconditional love that will emanate from every point when our universal family are present with us, in physicality and in other dimensions as well. And so that for me is a beautiful thing that I know will be taking place. Jacko said in the future, but for me, it's the present moment, because we know they're present with us in this moment, just in another dimension that we don't necessarily see through our eyes, because we have a very narrow bandwidth of information that we see through our physical eyes. But if we actually expand ourselves out in this moment, become consciously aware of our environment and just allow, then you can sense it already. As soon as I say those words, you can sense the field strength of others around us constantly. So I think that's a beautiful thing and a beautiful way for us to welcome the future and the beauty that is to be with our universal family. Okay, I think that's it for now. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dean, and also thank you, Moshfik. You're both right. We are living in the unicos, in the universe, in the systems. They are built of abundance. And if you manifest, like you said, the bird in England, the bird in Austria, we have to learn that this is our possibility to understand that we can create. And the picture we saw before, Rick, can you go back to that, please? With this man, because something came to my mind which I want to extend. Another one, please.
Do you mean
No,
the picture? Dean?
Yes, with from the
Okay, Dean, you'll have to
creator.
show that.
No. The slide picture number 5 is one back from this. Yes, you know what we see is the Earth with the sun, with the galaxy, with the universe, the unicause, up to the creator. But if we see the man, we can do it the other way. We have the environment, we have the skin, we have the body, we have all the organs, the soul inside of the man. So it's the same. It's just a different switch to a different line. But the total is the same. So we're only part of in between, you can say. And if you know that the soul doesn't have a time, what is future, what is past? It's our experience, and we can build up. It's the knowledge we can accumulate by learning, by becoming, by living. But it is all the same. So I really want to thank you both for your contribution. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Jacko. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear Dean, for your sharing. And you know, the photograph is like of timelessness, that there is no time as a being you are. And the bird that came always for you. And this interaction of this peaceful moment. And you see the bird dipping the legs in the water, as we all do for joy, you know. And you always appreciate that the bird is like you. And you become, this interaction became timeless. Maybe the bird, for you, the bird is the same. And for the bird, you the same person, the being that is always. So this is the moment of beauty and totality. And it goes on as you wanted it constantly, you know? I mean, in a way.
It's the emotion. I think it's the emotion that so the emotion triggers a response within us that connects to the carbon-14, and it shows how strong the emotions are, that we can actually bring forward something very quickly into our environment. So whether we are in the environment of planet Earth or outside of the planet Earth, we are going, you know, we can experience this as a soul, because the soul is unlimited. And so the soul can create and manifest and be aware of its environment, depending upon, you know, the structure that you're in. So whether it's in a physicality, in a physical plane, or whether it's in a, you know, on a soul dimension where there is no physicality. And then the creations, you know, like the dreams that we have when we sleep, when we're in a soul condition. The manifestations of the soul interactions are unlimited, and many people experience quite incredible dreams. You know, we say the dream when, as we know, indigenous people will say this is the condition that is the reality, and that, you know, the day that we're walking around is actually the sleep time. It depends upon your viewpoint, and on a soul aspect. When we understand that we are unlimited, we can create and expand upon and be present, whether it's on planet Earth or planet Zeus. It's all in the matter of zero-time communication. It's a blink of an eye that doesn't exist. It's in the moment, this moment. Thank you, Sweta.
Oh, thank you. We want to be in these moments, you know, full of life and living, and that goes on like that. And when we do that, the interaction, as said by my master Shriman MTK, the interaction changes, and the manifestation also changes, and that is the way the carbon-14 understands, works in every aspect. We see the moments and we enhance the moments. Thank you, my dear team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sweta.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hi,
Yeah.
I was just remembering when I was learning the teachings of Baha'u'llah, that one of our powers was our imagination. And I think that's really important. Like when we think and feel like the future and and all the Keshe Foundation stuff. And like we create a picture, like we're creating something. And so like we're becoming visionaries for the future. Okay, I just wanted to add that what I learned from Baha'u'llah was one of our powers.
Yes, my dear. Great teachers, greatest of the teachers.
Okay, I'm done.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you for sharing.
And thank you, everyone.
Oh, then yes, the imagination, as we say, and that is in this material world, only an imagination that can't be true. But what is reality then? What is the perception of reality? The imagination or the material? When you imagine, you create, you become real for me. You become real. And you manifest in a way. Those who imagine, those who create, those who dream, always are beautiful people, I will say. And they understand the dream. That is the way the soul and the spirit work together. As in the science, we can explain that. We are all explaining that to each other. This is the most beautiful thing ever happened. And this is the way, the pathway, the peaceful way of carbon 14, as we say. The soul's intermediate, the soul of man, the universal soul, the soul of the body. Everything merges in this oneness. Thank you. Any soul else want to say something? I mean, beautiful soul.
Hi. Hi.
Oh.
How are you? Nice to hear from you.
Oh, nice to hear from you too. Thank you, my dear, for coming. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Somebody say something about Baha'u'llah, and I'm very happy to share with you and with other people what Mr. Keshe and Baha'u'llah together taught us about the soul. That everything on this world, on this universe, has a soul. And this soul is within the soul of the creator, but also can be the soul of the creator if we'll expand the fields, the line of the fields of our soul. We can be the creation, entire creation of the universe. And we see everything from above, including the soul of the physicality, including our physicality, Earth, Sun, other planets, galaxy, and so on. And this is the name, this is a fly. Because at the soul level, everything is together, is outside of time and space. There is no need to fly because everything is at one, there together, condensated in one and expanded at the universe level. So could be one and could be whole, expanded. We have this property because we are created from the image of the creator, and we have this capability like an elastic to expand our fields. And I think that this is elevation of our soul, to expand our fields and become the universe and become the universe. For this reason, in India, we have in Sanskrit and sutras is Aham Brahmasmi, means I am Brahma, I am the universe, I am the universe, I am everything. This is very important to understand that we are a fractal, a small fractal, a toroidal fractal, the same as the unicos. And this fractal toroidal field is the toroid of our heart, our spirit, and the toroid of our the soul of man. We have two entangled toroid, and we need coherence between them in order to get peace at the soul level, and in order to get all what we need: equilibrium, which means health, to feel love. Creator is love. Creator is this field of love. And love is also peace. What means peace? Is this love? Love for everything, because we are everything, and we are able to love everything because it's our soul, is our field of our soul. For this reason, Keshe Foundation considers that peace, love, is the condition, necessary condition for the unity. On this earth, we will not have peace and unconditional love if we will not have unity. That's why we need to think at the planet as a whole. We have one planet, one nation, one human race. And Earth is but one country, and we are the citizens of this country, of this spaceship. As we are the member of the team of this spaceship. I hope that leaders and all citizens could feel now at the soul level my vibrations and my heartbeats, and especially of Universal Council and all knowledge seekers. We are very happy to get peace at the soul level, because how is it inside is also outside. We are inside and we are also outside. It's the law of the fractal, like Hermetism taught us from Egypt and from ancient so-called gods. We learn much from the sun, the god of the sun. I mean, not the god, what is the name? The king of the sun, Aton. We learn that is only one soul of all messengers. And this only soul is not only the messengers, it's also our soul. Because all souls are part of this big soul of the Creator. We are part of the soul of the Creator. And at the soul level, we are together. Isolation is just an fantasy, is an illusion. That's why it's important to explain anytime and every time to all the people the truth, that we are totality, and totality is within us. So concentration of totality in each man as a fractal, and expansion of each man at the level of totality, at the soul level. In this way, we are able to communicate instantly and to travel instantly outside of time and space. There in the field of plasma, in the principal matter, fields of the principal matter, the origin of our soul. I hope, now I want to imagine all of you the expansion of these fields of our soul, which are the fields of love, the fields of peace, the fields of unity, fields of totality. And these are the fields of the Creator, our unique God. In this way, we create equilibrium, we create unity between us, and as a consequence, we create peace now at the soul of the planet, of the universe, and of the metaverse, I mean the unicos. We feel now this peace, this equilibrium. We need to believe, we need to send our thought, our emotion, and create this image of totality, of equilibrium, and feel in our heart, in our soul, the love. This is peace. To have peace at the soul level, unconditional love, is our beloved Creator. Much love to you, to all of you, my beloved friends, sisters and brothers.
Thank you, my dear Salomia. Beautiful what you said, always. And yes, in the Sanskrit Sutra, Aham Brahmasmi is a great sutra that I am the universe. We all are universal, as we know in this universal knowledge. But then it was misused by the Indian community to become the Brahman and the superior one, and the Shudra, the poor one. And then the result was all we know, the caste systems broken into pieces, a human heart, and become the cause of course, suppression, extortion, torture, and painful deaths, of course. So we have to understand what is Brahma, the universe, and what is Aham, I am. But yes, of course, but bringing this up, Salomia, this is the beauty we have to understand. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Thank you. So if anybody wants to share more on this future topic, you're welcome. Or we can go to the next slide. Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear. Yes. Welcome, Jaco.
Yes. The commandment number 2, you shall have no other gods beside me. You shall not make yourself an idol in the form of anything. In Universal Council, we were discussing this, and if you look around, there are so many things that nowadays, for some people, some souls, become like an idol. If it's in sports world or in music or One has a beautiful car that he loves so much more than everything else. It is so important that we understand where the source is. As Salomia explained, we call it the dome of peace, this connection of everything. It leads us back to our source. And if we know that this comes from one ray, then we also understand that we should not divide it in other rays or other idols. We can respect one each other. We can respect the work of a singer, for example, but it is how we do it with them. And I think it's very important to understand the way, the path, and that is the reason why the commandments are here, to help us on the way to how we should live the ethos. Is there anyone who wants to extend on this?
Jacko, it's Dean here.
Hi, Dean.
Hi, Jacko. Hi, Jacko. So, I mean, as you just pointed out, we can make idols and gods of anything and everything. This is very much a human condition. It's we do this with many things in our lives, where it brings us a lot of pleasure, or we connect with it, a field strength that we identify with, and we focus on it, and we give it lots of energy. And most things, in fact, everything is a plasma, and everything is energy transfer. So when we are devotedly giving to these other energy packs, we are creating a connection, and we are depleting ourselves of energy. We are giving our energy away to another, so we are stealing from ourselves without even realizing. So, and this is where the soul would come into position and would show us that we are everything. We have everything we need right here beside us, in us, and we don't need to be present with something else, as much as it may bring us lots of joy and pleasure. As long as we understand that nothing is higher and nothing is lower, and that we are equal, and that we have a time, place, and position where we can share the energy flow. And then we share this energy with all the souls, not just this one focused position that we can fixate to. So when we can expand and open it up so that it's not just one idol or energy pack, God, however, whatever you'd like to describe it as long as you understand, we understand that each and every one is equal. So whatever it is in physicality, all are the same. And then when you start to realize this and start to pay attention and don't focus on one aspect, but open it up to many other aspects, then the creation and the universe will expand and give back to you, instead of a situation where you are depleting yourself of energy, as the other energy is, you're making it bigger than yourself. So Mr. Keshe's teachings, he has said that the stronger always feeds the weaker. And I know some people don't like this analogy, but however, in the plasma world, this is what Mr. Keshe says happens. And so when we give another energy our full attention, it becomes bigger and it starts to deplete us. So when we find that position where we can, as I said, open ourselves up and expand out and realize that the totality of all the souls present, and there are countless numbers that we can't actually describe in numbers, because it's in everything, and everything in all these numbers that I've just spoken about is one. Ultimately, all these things we create, and all these other conditions, and so it's like the bird I spoke about earlier. That thought created for me that bird, and it appeared very quickly. And then if you can imagine that, if I'd have focused on that bird and give it lots and lots of energy, and then that bird would start coming more and more often, and then that energy would be drawn away, and that bird would become something else. Whereas if I just accept it for the fact it was a beautiful creation, and in that moment it was a wonderful experience, and then just like a cloud on a beautiful day, you just let the cloud drift on by, and then you allow another cloud to manifest, and they're all equal. They all have their beauty, and you can take this forward in many different ways. So that's my understanding, Jacko. So I'll leave it there for you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Dean.
Thank you, Jacko.
Yes, it's the creating out of abundance to the benefit of all. I think that is what is so important. And if you have an idol, or you give so much energy, you take so much energy, but it's not for the benefit of all. And if we take the path, the right path, it is. I think that is one of the big differences. So keep on creating, Dean, as we all do.
Jacko, as we all do, we constantly creating, and when we, as the beautiful Universal Council and all the knowledge seekers and all souls present, when they actually focus their attention to expand themselves from within to the whole of creation, then everything becomes very beautiful. Everything in our, the whole environment that we operate in and function within. And whether you're in, it makes no difference whether you are positioned in any country or any nation, or northern or southern hemispheres. It's all the same. And then if we take this out further, I know, and we expand it out, and then we start to elaborate and allow this new, this, which is ancient, which has always been there, expansion of our soul to now allow the universal community to be present with us. In fact, it's the other way around, that we ourselves are the ones that are blocking the capabilities of us receiving the beauty of the universal flow. And this is what Mr. Keshe has been speaking about, and we all know about for a very long time, to do with taking away the need to actually take another soul's physicality for us to be able to receive the energy that we need. And this is a filtering process, and for humanity, this is a big understanding. But we are at that precipice now. We're at that position where humanity is about to experience and understand the next position of being present with our universal family. So and they've always been present with us, always, in many different shapes and forms. We just have to allow to be present with them, and then once we reach this condition of not taking a soul's physicality for us to receive, then the doors really will be open. And this is as I said earlier, this is a big understanding for humanity to come to terms with. However, it is the position that we have no choice. We have no choice, as Mr. Keshe would say. It's already started. Mr. Keshe brought this knowledge forward, and it's been present before, but it's present now. And then once you understand this knowledge, and you realize as a soul you are unlimited, and you can receive energy in many, many different ways other than just physically consuming, then you start to touch the soul aspect of the whole of creation. And yes, it's a big understanding for us to come to when you've not heard this before. However, it doesn't take long when you're in a plasmatic condition, and when you start interacting with the beautiful souls that are present, that you come to understand that it really is part of you. You have the creator, the part of the creation within your very structure. And so when you actually just allow it, become part of this, the soul aspect, which is this space gap, which is this part that sits in your structure, and you just connect with it, then all the other bits of the jigsaw, however you like to describe it, they fall into place and they start to manifest in the right way. And we become very peaceful. And then we find that we don't need to receive the energy from another unless it's an energy transfer that is required in the moment. And then we can share the energies depending upon what is needed in that moment. So a universal condition. Thank you, Jacko.
The beauty of diversity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Dean.
Yeah, genau. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes, may I, Jacko?
Of course.
Thank you, my dear
Please.
Dean. Thank you, Jacko. As you said, the beauty in diversity. In the when we can say in plasma way, this is needed, of course. As you said, my dear Dean, that the beauty of the bird, the peacefulness of the bird dipping their legs in the water, because you have seen this bird after some years, you appreciated the beauty, and many appreciated the beauty of the bird. In a way, you appreciated also. And the bird flies in the free world and give joy to all others with her beautiful behavior, beautiful color, the beautiful way she sits, and the beautiful essence she give to all. But one day, when you become so much in this, so much aggressive, I will say, in this beauty, which is not a universal conduct, you go and capture the bird and put it in a cage, and you are so happy, and there is an ego about it that the bird is now for me. And in the cage, you say the bird, can you sing? Sing. And the bird sings. And stop, and the bird stops. And the beauty is all gone. And you devoid all that exists from the beauty of this bird. So, and you become a physical, you started becoming a physical god, you know. Well, where God, we say that the God gave commands, the God says, but an energy, you become. So, and I will say an idol, an ideology to create a material that is, and the God inside you, the you inside you, the you within that is connected to all, doesn't understand what happened. There's an imbalance. What is that? Oh, the bird is in the cage. And then the God says from you, from inside you, there's an intuition came in your mind that this, you shouldn't do that. This is not a good conduct, my dear, but you ignore it. And then because of this ideology, the ideology, this material intense, the bird dies in the cage. And then you understand the shock that creates, that affects all souls. You know now, and you never do that again. We will never do this idol form, this material form. We understand why the gods from inside say, from a god, me, from inside say that there shall not be God beside me. Because if we say God, it's an intense word that has been taken wrongly in this illusion, in this Maya, in this in this world, but when we say the God within, then the God, of course, understands that you should not go beyond this. This is I am speaking to you, the soul, the universal soul, that don't go with intense material. Don't be addicted, that this will become a parasite. And in the universal unified field, you shall have no other God beside me, my dear. So this is the interpretation. Well, I understand that we all understand in this way that we shouldn't catch the bird in the cage. We have to respect everybody's free will, as we do here. We cannot force anybody. We respect, we love, we give love, unconditional love. And that is the way we elevate, communicate with all souls. And that is the God inside us. Always make sure, mostly, but when we go the wrong way, well, outside what it is, become the God as we see. That is very painful for the person who is becoming like that, for a being who is becoming like that. So the God inside you always care for you, always understand, says to you, well, I will use the word say, that I am here for you. Ask, take what you need, my dear. So this is the way I understand. So thank you for listening to me, my dear. Anybody else any beautiful soul else want to share? You're welcome.
I'll add a little bit here, because it's the story of a bird in a cage, bird manifesting and so forth. This is based on a song or a poem written by one of our mystical poets or teacher, whatever you may call him. His name is Lalon Fakir. He's he's fairly well known now. You can find a lot about him on internet too. He was a blind man who composed very powerful poetry using very simple language. And they are a mystical group, and they're not, they're actually, they come from a region of Bangladesh, which is where my ancestors come to, very close by, from a village. And he never left his village throughout his life. So he has this song, which is, it goes something like this. There is, referring to his body and soul, there is this bird that comes in and out of of this cage, which I know not what it is. And he's referring to the soul. It's a very beautiful song, but the interesting thing is that the soul being in a prison and us not recognizing that it is there, and as well as us not recognizing when it comes out and manifests in various things we do. So that's the essence of this song. And so both what Dean and Sweta was saying, it reminds me of this particular poem, and it describes to some extent soul's operation, as well as our neglect to use the full potential of the soul. And in any case, I think we have a very fairly developed songs and poem in especially this area of soul. And this is, in this respect, I think the other language that I know, which is like this, is Farsi. And there are many poets in that language, they talk about these kind of things. And anyway, so many have had the knowledge, some developed it, and so many of the things that we talk about now, which is becoming public through, therefore, the Keshe Foundation and its knowledge seekers. Limited number of people were able to cross that threshold of, let's say, transmutation, transportation, not eating, things like that. And in our part of the world, we are not, especially in this area, we are not as censored. So you hear people who were able to, in India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, this kind of area. And so it didn't happen in vacuum. There is a body of knowledge, understanding, couched in terms of tales, fables, fairy tales, songs, and poetry that goes to make such people able to do these kind of things. It's not exclusive to our part of the world, clearly, but wherever there is, we have to understand, wherever there is this kind of actual ability manifested, there is some background to it, which is present. And now with the internet and as well as Keshe Foundation's effort, everything, all of these things are not unknown. And we are about to embark on the beautiful journey of making it not just part of few who went through tremendous effort and adversity in most cases, because it's out of the norm, to make it. We are now in a position to make it part of humanity, or even perhaps even go beyond part of living on this planet, not necessarily as human, but other beings too. So let's not forget those who have done it, and we are just bringing that legacy to its fullest extent. And at this time, at this place, with our effort, and we have to put our effort. Yes, there is a bit of an adversity, but not the ones that these guys encountered. So we can do it. We have joined together here to achieve this. So once again, we are present. Thank you.
We are present, my dear. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, my dear Motwik. As you told about Lalun Phokir, I sing Lalun Phokir's song and inspired, and well, I will say the mystic has inspired my life. And
one
India,
more thing, I have to interrupt
yes.
you. Perhaps today's meeting you can end it with one of his songs if you want to.
Oh, of course.
He sings very well, so let's not lose this privilege by ignoring this fact.
Oh, thank you, my dear Motwik. Thank you so much. So a mystic, Lalun Phokir. And well, the person, his song like that about the bird like the soul, and the being was curious to know how this bird goes out of the cage and comes in every time. I even don't understand. Why not? a rope to take it forever, but the soul is the free will like the bird. It moves and comes according to you, according to the universal unified peace. This is the legacy Lalan Fakir has given. And we are learning this now. We are in this moment now. We understand the bird is, and we respect the God he is. It is. So thank you so much. And I will sing 2 lines, of course. Then now can I sing? Hello, my dear? 2 lines. Hello.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
It's you, Shweta.
Yeah. It is about this, the curiosity of the man, that how the soul of the man works. It comes and goes, and it always moves. How about capturing it? Can we do that like that? But the mystic laughs. It is in Bengali, my mother language, and I will sing 2 lines. খাঁচার ভেতর আছি পাখি কেমনে আসে যান খাঁচার ভেতর আছি পাখি কেমনে আসে যান তারে ধরতে পারলে মনো বেড়ে ধরতে পারলে মনো বেড়ে দিতাম পাখির পায় কেমনে আসে যান Thank you for listening. The person, the curious man, says that I will tie him with the rope and the love of my heart. But with the love, you cannot tie anybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Thank you, my dear Moshki. Thank you, my dear Rick. So, fine. So we can move to the next slide.
Lovely voice, lovely song.
Oh, thank you, Salomia. Thank you for saying that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Here, we bring the needs and wishes from your community to the Universal Council as one nation, one planet, one nation, one race for justice and world peace. You are welcome, dear beautiful souls. Welcome to this beauty and totality. Have your share unconditionally. Thank you.
From my community, our wish is to bring abundance for all humankind and for all beings of the planet. Abundance at the soul level, in all area. This is our wish for the planet.
We are present, my dear. Thank you.
Thank you.
But it's Dean here. So I'd just like to say that the communities that the universal community are representing, which is the community of humanity, and many that have been present through these meetings have come to understand how incredibly powerful the Universal Council is. They are bringing together the souls to make wishes and to connect the souls together. And Mr. Keshe has said that the Universal Council has been granted very special elevation enhancements of the totality of not just humanity, but of the planet itself, of this position, time and place that we're in. So when you are present in your communities, anything you have, if you bring it to the Universal Council and they take it and they act upon it and they communicate as souls and bring it into a position, you will find it will open up the whole of your community, and all the needs and wishes, all the hopes and dreams, everything that you require, you need, can be dealt with by the universal community and the Universal Council. They have this ability, this connection, direct connection that's been granted to enhance humanity and all creatures created. So for me, when any of you could come forward, any nation, any community, no matter how small the community, and bring forward something that would enhance and make a very big difference to you. And if it makes a huge difference to you, then that gets expanded upon and that becomes the totality. So as an individual, you have this direct connection, this ability to come forward and bring a wish for your community. And we all know that communities at the moment in many places, time, place, and positions around the planet Earth are in need. There are unlimited amounts of energy required to bring balance to the communities on planet Earth. So we just need people to understand the beauty of the Universal Council that is positioned to bring about your wish. The souls of the Universal Council are unlimited. And when they become one, their wishes are extremely powerful. It changes conditions in the matter state very quickly. And many world leaders and many, which is yourself, and many other souls are very aware of this. Very, very aware. So please bring your community issues that you have, or any beauty that you would like to bring forward, bring them to the Universal Council. Write them, email them, think them, speak them, sing them if you need to, but bring them forward, and then we can aid and give to humanity and all the creatures created to bring about this beauty that is bestowed upon the Universal Council to do this. They're here to serve you unconditionally. And this gift is this gift is being given to you. Use it well. Thank you, Sweta.
Thank you, my dear. We are present, indeed. I have also to say from my community in India, that the whole community that is India, that my wish is that the community India should come up out of this, let go of this religious and caste system, understand the equality, the equal we are, and then brings peace and love and abundance to all that is, and joy, of course, to be together. So be it, so it is. This is my wish, and my wish is my command. Thank you. I am present, we are present.
We are present, Sweta. Thank you.
I'm present too.
There's a wish from Claudia Frederick. Claudia, you want to say it by yourself, my dear? I will read the wish from on behalf of Claudia. I wish the elevation of all souls in this planet and here in Brazil have many differences yet in many levels of knowledge. Understand the totality and the communication of all souls. Thank you, my dear. We are present. I am present.
Thank you for that wish, Claudia. We are definitely present with you. Thank you.
We had a wish from the YouTube from Caroline Maja. Says wish for healthy living spaces for everyone and safety, and adds a life without threats. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Caroline.
We are present, my dear, always. Thank you so much.
Sweta, I think it would be nice for people to, we say to bring the wishes forward from their communities. So the wish would be nice if it was formulated a little bit more. You don't have to name anyone, but if you can just bring the wish, and so that it's not quite so general, so it's a little bit more focused, so that if it's a particular area, we can make a very big wish for the whole of humanity. Or if your communities that you have, little local ones as well, as I said earlier, the smallest is with this technology, with plasma, we always, humanities always look for the biggest. They always look for the most powerful, and the way that we can do something in the most dramatic way. And Mr. Keshe and the technology of the plasma is always looking for the smallest, the most humblest, the most smallest thing that then blossoms and becomes something very beautiful. I've noticed this with Mr. Keshe, and the knowledge of this universal knowledge is that the smallest thing matters equally. And when you bring that forward, then it gets expanded upon, and then it becomes much, much more. And it is opened up, and then it can become the whole of totality for the whole of the planet. So the small things make a very big difference. And it's when you, whatever it is for you in your communities, bring it forward so that we can serve you and help you, and enhance your, elevate and enhance your environment through the thoughts and intentions and wishes and the beauty, which is the Universal Council that is here to serve you in this moment. So just formulate the wishes so that, we could even bring a wish forward that you come, and then we can start to expand upon it in this exact moment and make it more, beautiful, so that it comes into a position much, much quicker. Thank you all.
Yes, I agree. I do. Thank you, my dear Dean. Thank you so much. We have to focus also. Yeah, of course. In every level. Yes. Thank you very much.
Just to open this a little bit further as well, what would you wish for yourself? if you could make yourself in this time, place, and position the happiest you could be, the most wonderful position that would bring you a beauty, so that you felt so fulfilled that you'd want to share that joy and love with everybody, what would that wish be for yourself? Because you are loved unconditionally. And the Universal Council is here to serve that love to you.
You are asking me, then?
I'm asking everybody.
Oh.
But yes, you can certainly come
Oh.
forward. And yeah, what would make you extremely happy, Sweta?
Oh, I became my wish. I think this is my wish, that I should give. I am able to give unconditional love, always, forever, as I became love. This is the wish,
Wonderful wish, Sweta.
Oh.
Yes. We are present. Thank you.
Oh, we are present. Thank you, my dear. Thank you for asking. Beautiful. My dear Rick, if there is a no question or no sharing or no comment, then we can move to the next slide. For now, we will wait for your comments and sharing beautiful souls like forever. And here is the key, the fulfillment of the wish. We are here to serve, not to be served. The Universal Council. And here I again welcome you. Welcome. Suswagatam to the beautiful beauty and totality, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Be here, join, follow, merge, kind of that. Thank you. Thank you. And we are present in all your wishes. Thank you, my dear. Beautiful. Salam, namaste, salute. This is Shweta Anwar, Hindi, Universal Council, Hindi language. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay, thank you, Sweta, and thanks to all the members of the Universal Council for their participation, whether they were here in the physicality or not. They are participating as a group and as souls in that group, and we thank them for their work. Thank you, everybody, for attending today's workshop, the 270th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice, here on Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. Our next public teaching workshop is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which I host every week on Wednesday, starting at 7 a.m. Central European Time, Central European Summer Time, that is. And people are welcome to attend that meeting. And if you have any questions about the plasma technology or something you'd like to show to others to share, then that's a good avenue to do that. And of course, we have the Knowledge Seekers Workshop coming up on Thursday, starting at 9 a.m. Central European Time, as per usual. And we look forward to more revelations from Mr. Keshe in that workshop.
And right, what about some dance?
That's it, except for dance time. Yes, indeed. You've already done the song, and now you can do the dance.
Of course. Welcome to the dance, Ale.
Dance of creation.
Yeah. Yeah. Salomia. Thank you, my dear. join in the dance, my dear. Thank you.
And what they mean by that is the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version, which we like to play at the end of this workshop. So clap and dance, everyone, and we'll see you in the next public teaching. Okay, bye for now.